My name is Hayley Brogden. My subject specialism is hairdressing, and I currently teach Level 1 and 2 diploma for ages ranging between 14 and 19. Using Brookfield as a reflective model, I will reflect on being an innovative teacher. So, why do we have to be innovative? The professional teaching standards 4 and 15 tell us that we must be creative and innovative in selecting and adapting strategies to help learners learn, and to promote the benefits of technology and support learners in its use. Innovative teaching is encouraging students to engage more in the learning process. When students interact with teachers and peers, they gain more practical experience and retain more information from a class. I'm quite a creative person, so I get excited about being innovative, and I have plenty of ideas to make my teaching fun and engaging for my students. Previously, the use of technology made me feel nervous, and I've never really been that good with IT. In the past, I've had bad experiences with technology, so this made me feel nervous about exploring with it. But at the same time, I was excited to learn something new and to be creative. I first used innovative technology by using Prezi. Previously, I had used PowerPoint, but I soon realised that Prezi was in fact easier for me to use. It's interesting and bright, and there's a wide range of templates to choose from. You can also easily embed videos that play straight from the Prezi, and I do use Prezi in most of my teaching sessions to support my teaching. The good thing about Prezi is because it's online, students can also access this at home to support them with any homework, so it's a really good revision tool. Using Prezi built up my confidence to explore more with technology, realising that my students loved anything that didn't involve reading and writing, and that's when I came across Animoto. Animoto is used to create short videos, and I do use it in many ways, but I like to use it as a cognitive learning tool. So students would create their own short step-by-step video. This could be a step-by-step hair tutorial, or even a step-by-step of how to make a nourishing hair mask. Research on multimedia learning is that multimedia instructional messages that are designed in light of how the human mind works are more likely to lead to meaningful learning. So we can then test out each of the step-by-step videos and use that as a way to peer assess. I can also link these videos to other units, and I have used them as a way for the students to reflect. This worked really well. Rather than asking students to fill out the usual what went well and even better if form at the end of a session, I actually asked them to create their own Animoto video. I wouldn't do this at the end of every session because it is quite time consuming, but it is something that I would like to do at the end of each unit. So they would include pictures from the start of their practical work through to the end results, and I will encourage them to think about what they did, how they did it, what went well, and then what they could do to improve next time. It's a really nice way for them to gain pride in their work and to motivate them as well, as they watch how they got from the beginning to where they are now. A lot of my students doubt themselves and they don't believe that they can achieve, so it's a great way for them to reflect and to showcase their work. I've used Pinterest in sessions, and I like to use this as it's something that we use a lot in the hairdressing industry, so that promotes the situated learning theory. Technology is dramatically transforming communication and knowledge interchange in societies, encouraging thinking and problem solving. It's something that students can easily access to find images, videos, and tutorials. And I create boards for each unit so students can go on and they can find anything that they might need. Some of my learners are low level and they do find it difficult to use internet searches. So by using Pinterest, it's an easy way that they can explore and find those relevant images and videos for the unit that we are learning. It's not just technology that I use to be innovative, I also use gamification. Students who spend more time engaging in metacognition, thinking about how they learn, tend to have higher grades. Gamification can be used to increase metacognition. One game that I made was a true or false game. So I made flashcards on a lolly stick. One side was true, one side was false, and the students just had to turn it round with their answer for the question. I liked using this as an initial assessment to find out what knowledge the students may already have on a new unit, and then we could discuss our answers as a class. Another way that I use it is for formative assessment. At the end of a session, I recap what we have learned by playing the quiz, and then I can see what the students have learned from the session, as well as recapping anything that they still might be unsure about. Jenga is another game that we like to play, and this can be used in all of the units. I stick questions onto each block, and students have to answer them as they play the game. It's a good way to encourage role play by using questions related to customer service scenarios or interview questions. And I found it's a great way to get everyone involved and talking and encouraging those discussions. Connect 4 is another game that we used in a similar way to Jenga. Everyone has a question before they take a turn. I also like doing this to recap past sessions, asking students to tell me something that they remember from last week. Quite a few of my students are low level and they find it difficult to find images or videos or anything that they may need from the internet. So they do need a lot of support from me. By using Prezi or Pinterest, all images and information is there for them to easily access. All the pictures and videos are preloaded onto the learner pads. And the good thing about the learner pads is that I can see exactly what each student is doing on there, what they're researching. And I can also show the class. So when we make the Animoto videos, the students can send those to me and I can play that from the interactive whiteboard and show the whole class. Which again is good for peer assessment and reflection and gives them that pride in their work. Some of the feedback I received from students where I really enjoyed making my video and watching everyone's. Making an Animoto was fun. I liked seeing my work develop on Animoto. I like playing games, it doesn't feel like we are doing any work. In some of my previous teaching observations, I've received feedback from my tutor and mentor. Prezi was very attractive, fresh, and was conducive to inspiring creativity. And students used the technology well, and this was well managed. I also received feedback from peers on my innovative resource, which was Animoto. Peer feedback that I got was very relevant to specialism and it's versatile, so it can be used in different topics, encouraging students to do self-directed learning, good formative assessment, peer feedback and reflection. But can students make comments on each other's work which may be too harsh? And this is something that got me thinking about the Animoto videos. When students interact with teachers and peers, they gain more practical experience and retain more information from a class. A primary motive of innovative teaching is encouraging students to engage more in the learning process. These are definitely things that I feel like I do in my lessons with the resources that I provide. But from the feedback that I got in my peer assessment on the Animoto video, It got me thinking a little bit about if I was to play one of the students' videos and another student was to make a remark that wasn't very nice about that student's work, how may that make the student feel? So that is something that I need to work on in the future. And another thing that I would like to develop for the future is when I'm using questions in games, I think maybe splitting the class into groups, mix the lower level learners with the higher level learners so that they can work together. That way I'm including everybody. I don't want anybody to feel like they're put on the spot with a question. So using a different range of questions and to ask the students to choose one. If I get it correct, I can then stretch them with a harder question.